Sometimes you wake up and something feels different. Nothing bad happened. Nothing dramatic changed. But inside, something is quieter. Things that once mattered so much don't pull your heart anymore. People you used to think about all the time. Dreams you worked for. Plans that once gave you energy. They're still there, but your heart isn't running toward them anymore. And that silence scares people. Because pain is easier to understand. Pain means you still feel. But this feels like nothing. So your mind starts asking questions late at night. Why don't I care anymore? What happened to me? Am I becoming cold? Am I losing myself? Am I losing my faith? You look at yourself and think, I should feel something, but I don't. And the fear grows. But listen carefully. This feeling is not a problem. It is not failure. It is not weakness. It is the first sign of change happening inside you. Why this feels scarier than pain? Pain at least gives you direction. When you're hurting, you know where it hurts. You know what you miss. You know what you want back. But disinterest gives you nothing to hold on to. It removes your old identity before showing you a new one. That's why it feels so uncomfortable. You're not excited to stay. You're not clear enough to leave. You're just stuck in between. And that space feels empty. But it's not empty. It's unfamiliar. Allah works quietly with hearts. Before He changes your life, He changes what your heart is attached to. If Allah knows something is no longer meant to stay with you, He doesn't always take it away suddenly. Sometimes He removes your desire for it first. So you don't have to rip yourself away. So you don't suffer more than you need to. So you can let go without breaking. This is mercy, not loss. What Allah is actually doing. Think about this slowly. If Allah knows staying attached to something will hurt you later, why would He let your heart stay deeply tied to it? If something has finished its purpose in your life, why would He let you keep craving it? So instead of forcing you, Allah gently loosens your heart. You stop caring not because you failed, but because your soul has outgrown the space. This is why your mind feels confused. Your mind keeps asking, why don't I feel the same? But your soul already knows. It's time. Time to release. Time to move forward. Time to make space. When Allah wants to give you something new, He first empties your hands, because you cannot receive while holding on to what no longer fits. This feeling you have is not Allah leaving you. It is Allah preparing you. Peace for your heart. Let this sit in your heart gently. You are not lazy. You are not ungrateful. You are not broken. You are not losing faith. This quiet phase is not punishment. It is a pause. A pause where Allah is separating you from what cannot follow you into your next chapter. What once gave you meaning did its job. It carried you this far, but it cannot carry you further. So Allah does not destroy it loudly. He lets it fade softly, so you don't hate it, so you don't resent it, so you can leave with peace. You don't need to force yourself to care again. You don't need to panic. You don't need to blame yourself. Just stay gentle with your heart. Trust that Allah knows what He is removing and why. Because when Allah makes you uninterested in what once meant everything, it's not because your life lost meaning. It's because He is preparing you for a deeper one. You are not empty. Allah is transitioning you. Pain is loud. When something hurts, you know it hurts. You know what caused it. You know what you lost. You know what you want back. Pain gives your mind something to hold. But this feeling you're experiencing now, it doesn't give you anything. That's why it feels scarier. You wake up and nothing is wrong. But nothing feels right either. Your heart isn't crying. Your heart isn't excited. Your heart is just quiet. And silence confuses people. Because we were taught that silence means emptiness. That if you don't feel strongly, something must be missing. So fear enters quietly. You start thinking, why am I not excited anymore? Why doesn't this matter like it used to? Why am I not motivated? Why don't I feel close the same way? And the worst thought comes. What if this means I'm losing myself? But listen gently. This feeling is not emptiness. It is detachment happening before understanding. Allah does this to protect hearts. Because if Allah removed things suddenly, your heart would break. So instead, He removes the pull first. He removes the emotional grip, so you don't feel torn, so you don't feel forced, so you don't feel punished. That's why this phase feels confusing. Your mind wants reasons, but Allah is working deeper than reasons. You are standing between two versions of yourself. The old one is fading. The new one isn't clear yet. And that space in between feels uncomfortable, lonely, uncertain, but it is not empty. It is a waiting room, a quiet space where Allah is slowly helping you release what your future no longer needs. This is why you don't feel pain, because pain would keep you attached. This is why you don't feel excitement, because excitement would pull you backward. So Allah gives you stillness, stillness that feels strange at first, stillness that feels like loss, stillness that makes you question yourself. But stillness is not nothing. Stillness is preparation. Your heart is being gently separated from what once defined you. And that feels scary, only because you haven't met who you are becoming yet. You are not stuck. You are transitioning. And Allah always moves hearts gently before He moves lives. You're not losing direction. Allah is quietly realigning it. Sit with this feeling without fear. It is not here to harm you. It is here to guide you forward, without breaking your heart. Let's slow this down, because what Allah is doing right now is very quiet. So quiet that the mind doesn't understand it at first. When something has finished its purpose in your life, Allah does not always remove it suddenly. If He did, the pain would be too heavy. So instead, He starts with your heart. He gently takes away the desire, not the thing, not the people, not the situation, just the pull. You still see it. You still remember it, but your heart no longer runs toward it. And this is where confusion begins. Because your mind says, I should still care, but your soul says, I can't anymore. That does not mean you failed. It means your soul has grown beyond what your mind is still holding on to. Allah knows something very important that you don't see yet. He knows that if your heart stayed attached, you would stay longer than you should. You would force effort. You would drag yourself. You would suffer quietly. So Allah removes the attachment first. This is mercy, because letting go without pain is a gift. Sometimes Allah prepares change by making staying feel uncomfortable, not painful, just empty, so you don't fight to remain where your soul no longer belongs. This is why this phase feels strange. You're not sad enough to cry. You're not excited enough to move. You're in between what you were and what you are becoming. Your mind wants answers. Your heart wants peace. Allah gives you neither immediately. He gives you space, because space is where clarity grows. Think about this gently. When Allah wants to place something new in your life, He first frees your hands, not by force, but by loosening your grip, so you don't cling, so you don't resist, so you don't break. This feeling of not caring anymore is not Allah leaving you. It is Allah guiding you, without noise, without pressure, without fear. Your heart is not empty. It is being cleared of what cannot follow you. Into the next chapter, Allah is preparing. And even though it feels unclear now, one day you will understand. Allah was protecting you from staying too long in a place your soul had already outgrown. This is not the end of meaning. This is the beginning of a meaning that fits you better.